Hey everybody, it's Mucha Marapa from Matrix Global Media, and I'm just putting the finishing touches actually on a little bit of editing relative to podcasting. And for those of you who are not overly familiar with it, what we're basically doing is allowing you, and in this case I'm doing the audio version of podcasting, allowing you to create, your own radio show or online interview, where you go ahead, you either speak yourself about a topic that you're passionate or knowledgeable about, or you just want to debate or discuss, or something that's equally effective is actually speaking to somebody else and doing an interview or asking them about their business. Now, as a social media manager, it really takes next to no time at all to put something like this together. And it's very powerful. If you can go to an existing client, a prospective client, I often use podcasts as a form of value add, where I turn around and I say, well, I'll put your landing page together, or I'll put together your social media profile, and on top of that, let's go ahead and have an online chat. Let's do a podcast. So let me show you, because it's all about the kit, it's all about the equipment. But it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Believe me, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. So let me show you a couple of things. Traditionally, we have used, I should have untangled this thing before I started. Traditionally, we have used a headphone, and when I say we, I talk collectively, with, now, I did the video tutorial series, and in there, I didn't know what to call it. They're jacks, okay? So with the jacks, so what you've got the headset, you've got the microphone, and you've got the two jacks. So those will go into the PC, and you go ahead and you talk via Skype and so on and so forth. Doesn't work great for podcasts, and only because of the software that we need to download. And by the way too, because I got these tips and strategy and advice from the leading authority in podcasting, Cliff Ravenscraft, podcast and answer man. So what Cliff advised me to do was to upgrade to Logitech. Now, these cost £20, $35, something like that, And this is the key here, the USB hub. So this is very similar to a flash drive or some of the other things that we have here. So this is good. Now, the other thing that Cliff said, he said when you put the actual headset on, to move this down, don't put it here, because I don't know if any of you have heard our podcast interview. We decided that you sound like you're doing a bit of hip hop because of all the popping that comes on when the microphone is really close. So what you want to do, have the Logitech by all means, but move it down a little bit, and that will enable you to talk and not have the whole pop naughty by nature sound to it, who I like, by the way. Okay, so just again a quick reminder, we need to lose the jack, okay, and we need to take on the USB side, that was my mic, side of the podcast. Headphones, gear, vitally important. And now let's get online, and I will actually show you where you go to download what software, and within 5 minutes you're going to have a podcast going. Okay, right, so here we are now. We just have to do 2 downloads, and then we're pretty much going to be in really good shape with you to having a podcast ready, all set up and ready. So what I wanted to do first of all was put some close attention on these 3 bits of information here. First of all, this is the link that you need to go to, okay? It's http://audacity.sourceforge.net, okay? And then what version you need to download is the beta version 1.3.13. Now, whether you're Windows or Mac, I believe you can use this. Now, I only say I believe is because I use Windows. I have not had enough conversation with folks that do use Mac computers. Maybe if somebody out there is able to do so with a Mac, feel free to let me know, and then I can be 100% sure. But I'm pretty darn sure that it is. Now, finally, you will see this URL here, which is for the LAME MP3 encoder. Now let me explain this to you as articulately as I can. Alright, you have certain files, audio files, just like you have certain video files. So when you shoot video, it could be an AVI file, it could be a Windows movie file, it could be a number of different ones, an MP4 even. It is the same with audio. Okay, so we are used to having MP3s which we download, put in iPods and so on and so forth, but there's also a WAV file, WAV. Now the WAV file is the best type of file to record and to edit. So anytime you've got audio that you want to record from the get-go or edit it, it's best as a WAV file. However, when that is done, you then really would be in better shape if you convert that to an MP3, because then you can email it to folks. They'll be able to hear it a lot easier if it's an MP3. Conversely, it can be put onto your website as a podcast or onto other forms of social media. Okay, so for that reason we also need to have a one-off install of this bit of kit here, which will enable you to then convert it. So what we're going to do now, we'll actually I'll give you a bit of time to download these. I will stop the video and then we will come back when we are all ready, locked and loaded on the Audacity page. Okay, so here we are. We have downloaded the relevant information that needed to be downloaded. I think this is quite interesting. If you look at the top there, you can see what Audacity is reading from here. If you do, as an aside, if you have time to rummage around Audacity, you'll find it's just a really quality bit of software. When I was filming the video series for how to become a social media manager, there were times where the sound was less than desirable, let's say, and I went to the online researcher that is YouTube, and there was a gentleman on there. I need to find his name because he has got a wealth of information on there, and he basically showed how you can go in and you can edit your dodgy sound from video, you know, in order for it to sort of sound certainly better than before. So great bit of kit. Anyway, that's an aside. Here we are. As you can see, the dials that you sort of see familiar with any sort of CD or DVD player, this is the one we want to start, and we're going to go ahead and we press record. So now this Become a Social Media Manager YouTube demo podcast has begun. I'm just saying a few words with my Logitech headset, my USB headset. I have downloaded the MP3 encoder. I'm really delighted that you are listening to this, and I will be sure to post this online so you can hear it. So we go ahead and we press stop there. Now this is where it gets significant. We go over to here and you can see import and you can see an export here. So when I click on export, as you can see, we have MP3 files at the bottom here. So we're going to just go ahead and I'll give it a name. I'll call it Become a Social Media Manager YouTube Demo as an MP3 file. It's just checking the metadata. There it is, all done and dusted. Now I'm going to go back to that folder that I had, and I can pretty much email that MP3 to friends, to clients. I can put it on my blog, and I can let you guys listen to it. I hope you enjoyed.